So it's a Wednesday, like once a month, Chris will take a Wednesday off so we can travel to Shipshewana, Indiana, and go to their every Wednesday auction that they have. We don't go to every one of them. We just go to, maybe if there's not a lot of sales happening, we go to just one a month. So can you see what my motivation for wanting to go to this one was? Even though Chris had already taken it off before I knew that marshmallow tin was there. Oh, this booth section is my vibe. This is my primitive, my rusty crusty. This one was right up my alley, and I didn't even have to look any farther at this auction when I saw all the yumminess that they had in this one. I was like, okay, Chris, I'm just staying right here in the hopes to get my hands on some of these beautiful pieces. I don't know about you all, we all have a different taste, and a lot of my buyers do like the primitive. So, oh my gosh, so many cool pieces. I don't need another watering can. I don't need another watering can. Do y'all tell yourself when you see stuff, they're like, oh, that would go fit into my collection. So I'm just going to share some of the things that were here. The hard thing about Shipshewana is that there's multiple auctions going on at the same time. So luckily it's usually Chris and I, so there's two of us, so we can split up if we see areas that are selling stuff at the same time that we want. But there's more than two auctions, so you just miss out on things. So I kind of just hang out in the one area, and Chris hangs out in the one area with the items that we think we could really, really want, or we could really, really sell. Oh, I loved so much in this area also, but primitive furniture goes crazy high, y'all. Folk art furniture, usually we are learning that we can't touch, and we just don't have a buyer's market for that price range where we resell. Oh, I wanted this cubby so bad too. So good thing Chris was bidding on it, because he has more self-control than I do, along with this flower. Oh, it's just, yeah. Yeah, this auction was going on at the same time as the other one, so we missed out on a lot of these pieces. Go early, check it out. It would be worth going to Shipshewana, Indiana, just to experience the auction. You might want hearing like earwear to plug out all the noise, because once the auctions start going, it gets loud in there. Okay, cubby number 1 from today's Shipshewana auction. I really just wanted this one. It's, oh yeah, Chris will measure, of course, because it's taller than him.
It is 7 foot 2 inches.
It needs a bath. These are usually workshop barn finds. It's got some beautiful chippy. Unfortunately, it needs power wash, so I don't know how much that paper will survive. We won't take it off. We'll just see how much it's got some bird doo-doo. So it's going directly out to be power washed. It's not sitting in here too awful long. So beautiful, beautiful piece. Massive piece, heavy. Red on it.
I don't know how well it picks it up on the camera.
Flip the other way. Okay, cubby number 2 is a beast. Whoa! We weren't sure if it was going to fit in the van or not. That's odd. If it was too tall to sit on its side.
It just barely fit in between the tire wells.
But you got to pick one or both, and they were. All depends at that auction who's there walking around buying, so I could not pass up another cubby. Cool vintage piece, except it, as you see, it needs a bath, so we're just going to wheel this right out while the sun is still shining here and get it washed. Okay, Okay, here's the Shipshawana haul. It's a lot of larges, a lot of primitives, but y'all, that is what sells and sells high. So most are resale pieces, a few are for us to keep. So we got a little chicken feeder. The bench is something I already had. A couple little primitive pieces. We got a little a coffee grinder. I like how the wood has aged in the drawers a little bit different. A butter mold, a couple other little primitive decor pieces. A little toolbox, I think came in something. Or did you buy it yourself?
It came with your bread box.
Okay. I got a couple wired handled Crocs. My favorite find of the day, and Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, all the holidays that you get gifts all at once. Campfire marshmallow tin. I do not have that size. I love that it's rusty crusty. A couple sewing drawers that somebody made little cabinets for, or that's the way they were. They are beautiful. Look at that detail. A hanging scale. This actually came as a bonus piece and something I was bidding on, and I kept it. I love the metal lettering and the cute little birdie. Original sugar bucket. It is so original that if Chris tips it down,
it still has sugar in it.
It still has sugar in it.
Might need a bath.
Well, you don't soak it necessarily, but. And then look at this massive one. Oh my goodness. So just lift off the lid. It is huge. I am going to have to decide if I'm keeping or reselling, because these are just, it's just beautiful. That detail, the age, everything is beautiful. Then we'll go down here. Chris got some measuring tapes, little hot items that sell in his booth. This beautiful scale that has all the weights with it. I guess the lady said it came from a drug store, so maybe that's how they measured. I don't know. Y'all can tell me. I haven't Google lensed it yet. I thought this scale was neat. It definitely goes with the green decor. That's why I picked it up. Usually I'm a rusty crusty girl, but I thought somebody might like that if they collect green. This was a little bonus little truck, little cast iron truck. A couple primitive bowls that I'm not doing anything to.
They have some wording on it.
Yeah, that seems to be like the normal wording on a lot of these wooden bowls. Y'all, a lot of times I'm not an expert. I just buy things because I think they're pretty. I wish I was an expert, but I'm not. A whole bunch of wooden spoons that came with a couple wooden rolling pins. I bid on this piece. I've actually sold these kind of buckets. I don't know what these buckets are. People love these buckets. So a lot of these pieces I watched go high at a primitive auction. So I'm like, if I can get my hands on it for less than half price, I think I'm doing good. Love this little salvaged piece. This is a little fun little drawer set that I won't have to do anything to. This, usually I'm like, I do not need another ironstone pitcher. I believe that one is cracked too. Isn't it cracked?
Yeah. This is, I think, it's got to be the factory mark.
Yeah, that's the factory mark, but there is a crack on the handle.
Right there. It was fixed. The whole handle came off. You can see it right there too.
But what I loved, I have never seen a humongous bowl like this. Look at that detail. And it's ironstone. It's a beautiful piece of ironstone. It's got beautiful wear in it.
Come through.
It might be our new fruit bowl. We'd have to get a lot of fruit. I picked up because I liked these vintage
metal
letters. I just think those are fun. This little enamel pot was a bonus roaster. Couple stirrups, which I probably will take the leather off of it. The leather is very crusty. I love these little, I think this was a potato, like sifter that you get all the dirt off of it, but I love putting my paper wreaths in that. Chris bid on this piece for me because I wanted to make it over.
It's a little rusty on the inside.
You may who cares if it's rusty? I can seal that in, clean it up, seal it in with leather defense. It'll still be food safe. Put some wording on it. The stirrups came with these two boxes, and I think that
came with your red basket or bread box.
And now, if Chris lifts the box over here, let me tell you a story. So this stool was actually at the last estate sale that Chris and I went back twice to. And some of the items that they had higher price that didn't sell at 50% off day, it was at the auction, and Chris got it 50% off what their 50% off would have been.
A quarter its original price.
Yeah, there you go. A quarter of its original price. So I still got this beautiful stool that I would not do anything to. It's gorgeous. And then we'll pop over here, the last few pieces. This is a newer piece, but it's similar to some of the pieces that I had sold just recently where we sold a whole set of them. So if I had a number in my mind, if it went for that, then I would go ahead and get it. Chris eyeballed this cubby. Cubbies were going high, and cubbies go high. This drawer one was very cool. This is nothing, you don't do anything to this piece either. Just
some drawers have dividers in them.
Yep, it's just a beautiful piece. And then the last one is this little shelf. And the thumbtacks for the knobs is what got me. I just absolutely love it. It's primitive colors. It's primitive made, a great display piece. And then the little cubbies are just tacks. How adorable is that? They're cute. It's cute as a button. So some sourcing trips are just out of the ordinary. You go, you think you look at pictures, not like thrift stores because you have no idea what you're going to find at a thrift store. Because sometimes you walk away empty-handed, sometimes you got a few items. So I got up early this morning. I headed out for another estate sale by the same company. This is their 8th sale now that they have done for a humongous estate. Apparently, if you're having 8 of them. And I know, you just, they post pictures, and you don't know. I mean, you kind of try to scroll in the pictures, and sometimes even on an aux zip, the pictures get really fuzzy, and you can't really see them. So I just get up and get ready, and then when Chris leaves for his day job, I'm like, well, I'll just head out and wait my turn, and I just happened to be the first one there today. Good thing, y'all. So, something very unexpected. So, yeah, 2 hours early. That's just the way it goes. I mean, if you want the good stuff, you got to give them the time. I don't know what to tell you. So, I looked at pictures. I kind of you really couldn't see in pictures what they had because it just was so far away. But I found ironstone there, so that's my motivation. I love myself some ironstone, not only to decorate with, but to resell to you all. And sometimes it's a good deal, and sometimes it's not. It's just how it works. But I don't pass it up because you just never know if you're going to see it again or not. So I will share with you my estate haul. And then in this town, they have a couple Goodwills, and I thought, you know what, I'll go hit them. It's a Friday. They're probably not very good. I did make it to the one that was open, and I got a few things, but the second one I went to, I have no idea. I guess everybody was out and about at other estate sales. There was a few other estate sales in that town that day. I just didn't see anything that struck my interest in pictures. So I decided to go to the thrift stores, and good thing I did because I loaded up my cart. I have not loaded up my cart in years. It's been years since I loaded up my cart with items that I could just resell, clean up and resell, or I'm constantly looking for items to share with you all, inspiration of how to make them over, make them into something else. So, whoa, I was like, what's going on here? And the prices were amazing. We can all complain about prices all day long, and you can't change a thing about it, but I'm not complaining about today's trip to Goodwill at all. No. I was a happy little girl. If I could have skipped out of the parking lot, but I had to push my cart because I had so much. So let me get into the thrift haul. I'll pick some of the items up, and I'll save my goodies, my surprise goodies for the last. So my first two, I'm not usually a tarnished, like, silver type of person. It's probably silver plated, I think. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Y'all, just because I sell old vintage stuff does not make me an expert by any means. I'm learning as I go. I have no idea. I ask questions. Y'all share your knowledge with me, and that's how I learn. Yeah, because I didn't grow up with somebody in the antique business. Chris didn't grow up with somebody in the antique business. We just started off buying stuff that we liked, buying stuff that we saw like other people purchase, and sometimes that was an epic fail, and sometimes it was a good score. You just have to start off this business buying what you like, in hopes that somebody else likes the same as you do. So I am not an expert. Even when we're at auctions, reproductions are really hard. We've only been doing this 4 years, so we still have a lot to learn. So when people ask me questions, I'm like, I really don't know. I'm honest with you. I Google Lens it. I hope the Google Lens is honest, or I ask some of my antique friends that have done it a lot longer than I have. But anyway, this was all about the bunny heads. Oh my goodness. Are these two not... I guess they said they were cups, but I guess you could sit them on their head. But I'm like, but bunnies. These are super sweet, y'all. I thought, oh my gosh, just what cute shelf sitters. I don't know if I'd drink out of it, but I guess you can if you wanted to. Now this might seem weird to y'all, but certain trophies do resell. Animal trophies, fair trophies, vintage, and they've got to be vintage. Horse showmanship, horse racing, and like cups like this. Even though this says Albion Bridge Tournament 1952, people like these vintage trophies for decor. I really don't even come across them too much. I come across a lot of sports and stuff like that, but not... this is actually my first cup that I have ever gotten, so we'll see how it goes. Now, I've sold like bunny showmanship and horse ones and stuff, and they've always sold for me, so we'll see. I don't have any trophies in our case right now. I second-guessed myself on some 4-H ribbons at the last estate sale I went to that were like in the 1940s. I probably should have picked them up, but as a mom of 2 4-H'ers that has a million totes, okay, not probably a million, a ton of totes with my children's 4-H trophies and ribbons and all that in. And like I told them, I'm like, just wait another 50 years before they come vintage, then they'll be worth something, because right now they're too new. So they had a rock. Yes, I paid for a rock, but I love these. What a geodes. If they're reasonable, I'll pick them up, usually because they do sell. We've had a few here and there, and I usually have Chris put them in his booth, and he usually has good luck selling them. Picked up a couple little bottles. I'm a sucker for little bottles, especially the blue ones, the older ones. Just they've got me. So I got a couple spools. I know I have people asking me for spools. It's just all about time going through all my spools and deciding, like which ones to sell and stuff. Because I always feel like I have an idea for a craft for them. But I do, it takes time to go through, your stash, and then time to list things. So there's that. Now these I bought because I thought the frames were cool. I don't know about like the people in them or anything. I just thought the little frames were cool. I don't know. I haven't Google Lensed them yet. Just says man with helmet is what the back, so it doesn't say anything special. Blue Mountain Pot. This is a Blue Brothers Pottery. A little, I think this is the woodpecker or, anyway, it's a bird. It's a type of bird. So that's the first one I have found at this estate sale. That's not a crack. That is just an imperfection from when it was made. So it is in great shape. It's that perfectly imperfect. I have not seen a piece of Blue Brothers pottery there before. I picked up a wooden mirror, and it's funny, I've never picked up these mirrors, and then I saw somebody on an Instagram post that was adding one to her collection, and I'm like, well, I bet somebody does collect these. So I thought I'll give it a try. I've done like brass ornate dresser mirrors or like the really ornate ones on a stand, and those have always done well, but I just never thought about the wood ones. So I got myself a whole bunch of old bulbs, different old bulbs though. So I was excited about this because, I mean, it's a lot of them. And I had so much fun making on the other channel Christmas little displays for you all. You guys just let my creativity run wild, which it does on its own. I don't need any help, that's for sure. But I thought, why see them? I'll pick them up. And then I did pick up 2 vintage oval frames, get me every time. And then this one doesn't have a back, but I loved the color of it. And those music sheet where I did the dried flower already sold, and I had people asking for them. I didn't think anybody would want them on eBay, so I thought I would start seeing if I could find some more frames. Okay. So now my 2 big pieces. So I'm going to take the camera down and give you a sneak peek. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So when you get something so great, you wrap it up and you treat it like it's a newborn baby. Are y'all guessing what might be in here? I don't know. You guys may not be a fan of swung vases, but that is huge. Huge to find bittersweet. Oh, hello. And then I got to treat it like a newborn baby. It goes back in here. And then look at this big bottom one. Oh my gosh, that. So this is considered a mouth, and then you get all the fingers. Oh my gosh. So those 2 beauties were, as soon as I walked in, on a table. Now I went back and looked at the pictures, and they were not in the pictures. I was looking at the sofa table, the entryway table in the pictures because I flipped those and it was priced. It was in great condition. It was oak and it was beautiful. It was in great condition, so it was priced out of my range to flip it. But I was not expecting those, so that made my day. That made my day. Whoa! So yeah, those are not easy finds in our area. They are rare finds in our area. And if they would have been in pictures, the line would have been a lot longer at that estate sale. So I'm kind of glad they didn't put it in the pictures. And anyway, so let me share with you my Goodwill haul. I cannot believe and it's not all new purchase goods. There is old stuff in here, and there's good stuff in here. So like right off the bat, a crock. A little whiskey crock, $4.29, $8.29. But I know what, since I shop all over, I know what things go for and what they resell. That part I do know when you're getting outbid at auctions. So Chris actually even collects those, which I don't think his shelf has any more room. So somebody turned in some of the crocks. Now this one is broken. It's damaged, so you just put a cheaper price on it, and it probably used to have a wire handle. Still great decor. I could actually put a marmalade stamp on it. It would still look pretty cool. Here's another crock bowl. This one was it's not anything fancy. It's unglazed, but it's still a cool piece. And it's nice to be able to pay down on something so you can resell it a little bit cheaper too. Project piece. Merry Christmas tin. It was $10. I know it sounds crazy, but I am on a roll with the new IOD line. And I'm at the time I filmed this, I'm in the motion of painting up some of the stuff with the IOD, and I thought that needs a makeover because it's just new aged. I mean, the sides are sponged, so new age is kind of galvanized metal is sort of hard to sell. So it would just, if I put it in my booth, it would just sit. Even at Christmas time, nobody would be like, I could go to Hobby Lobby and buy that. A box. Boxes are always cool because I want to make this one over. I don't know if it was a cigar box at one time, but it's a perfect project piece. A couple little corbels. $3.20, and they were $3.29 a piece. I was hoping they were a pair, but no, separately because people. And then I can paint these up and make them look old and chippy and round off those. The first part is round off those sharp corners. Things that are old are not necessarily have all those pristine cuts on them still. Now this is probably my most expensive piece, but I thought it is very unique. So it's got, and it's heavier than it looks. It's got a beautiful hurricane on it. It has wavy glass, as you can see. It was $15, but it's beautiful. I don't have to do anything to it. Somebody would probably love this as a centerpiece, and then they could choose whatever they wanted to put in it. I would just sell it as is, clean it up. But I thought it was gorgeous. And then the same motion of redoing metals, there's this lump. This is a huge, though there's nothing really special about like the outside of it. It's old. The lid does come off. It's got a weird little plastic knob on it that I could actually change out. It's got some paint on it, but it's fun to be able to repaint real vintage tins that I don't even know what this is. What is this? What is it? I don't know. So it's aged wood and rusty crusty brass. I would love to patina that brass just a little bit with some turquoise because I think that would be gorgeous because like this is so weathered and this is so weathered. It's just, and it's just got weathered wood on it. And I mean, to top it off, that's what I feel like this piece needs. Just some blue, turquoisey. Somebody, I don't have the fancy name for it. There's a color for it. Somebody sent me a picture the other day. I'm like, that's a fancy word for me. I'm just really plain. So I just do something because I like it. But I feel like that's too shiny for this. And it's just a decor piece. That's all it is. It's just a decor piece that is super heavy. Cool piece, though. And we're all the haters that always yell at us furniture painters for painting. Somebody painted a vintage spice box. Oops. Multiple times. So it's got blue, it's got yellow, it's got, yeah, multiple paint colors on this. $6 though. So I can do something with it for $6. Am I going to strip all the paint off of it? Not on your life. That is way too, I really don't like to use stripper, but I'll see what I come up with. I mean, it's not terrible, but unfortunately it just makes those knobs really stick out like their eyeball. See it? You see the eyeballs now? So this is a new galvanized bag. I love the chippy red paint on it. So first of all, a little Dahlia horse, $2.29. So priced wonderfully. A little rusty mermaid. I thought, and she was $5, but you know they always get you when it's metal. Now this guy, hello, hold on, let me put my thing down. The mermaid, and we live in a, yeah, we live. Our retail booth, we are surrounded by lakes. We get a lot of lake people, so little trinkets like that. I have some other little cast iron pieces that are perfectly. So I saw this little bear on the shelf, and I saw his $3 price tag, and I'm like, I know it's clear satin, but I'm like, he's a nice clear satin. So you have to look. You just have to. He's actually a Now, in most Goodwills, you all know they have like a different section now, and this usually would not have been on the shelf. This Goodwill doesn't have one, and I hope they never do. And I don't want to tell anybody where it is because I'm afraid it'll change and make me sad. But anyway, Fenton, little satin, clear glass teddy bear, super cute. Now this, hello. I'm sorry. This is probably other than having brass, shiny antlers, this is probably the best paper mache deer made in the Philippines that I've ever seen. Look at that profile. Look at the eyes. Somebody will love this, though I think I'm not really a fan of the brassy horns, but I don't know. I got to Google Lens him and see where he's from and he was $8, so sometimes you buy things that are odd because it attracts people into your booth. So I definitely am not shipping because that would be a large box, not weigh very much. Couple more little project pieces. Love little risers with a bird cage. Can paint him over. I know he's newer, but we can definitely sand him and paint him. This is a hoot. It's a hoot. It is actually vintage. It's a vintage owl, and it's got a little hanger on the back. And there are people who love owls. I recommend putting just a little bit of heat to a sticker when they put them on like this so you don't necessarily rip the paper. Just a little bit of heat. Don't just try to take that off because it might rip. But he's pretty. I mean, there are owl lovers out there that would love this. And I don't have to resell it for very much because it wasn't very, very much. Got myself a sign just because I know that I can antique it and make it not be Hobby Lobby new. So I could rusty crusty it. I can patina it with the blue patina. I can paint it and make it look old and chippy. Just have fun. That's the fun of crafting. So that was my unexpected, oh my goodness, what is going on in the world today? Because the pig in the cage was the only ones I got at the one Goodwill, and the rest I got at the other Goodwill. Sometimes I believe in God wink moments, being at the right place, the right time, because tomorrow I could go in and I could walk away empty-handed. That's just how it works. So awesome thrift haul. I'm happy. I got some project pieces. I'm even happier because I love to have a stash of project pieces for you all because I feel like they're items that you would be able to find out and about or you might even have. So, thank you so much for watching today's vlog. As always, Chris and I love each and every one of you for taking the time to watch our videos, seeing what our lives are behind the scenes of me just painting items every day on the Ginger Chick channel. So again, thanks for watching, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're not part of the YouTube family and you enjoyed today's video, please smash that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what Chris and I are up to. Bye!